Hey guys, I wanted to take some time to show people how to save seeds from their produce that they've grown this year, or produce that you got from a farmer's market or CSA, things like that, but anything that you really liked and want to grow yourself next year. I want to show you how, and I'm going to start with tomatoes because they're a little particular about how to save their seeds, but in general, anything you're saving seeds from has to be a fully ripe fruit from the plant, like either fully ripe or overripe. And I can tell you what that looks like in different types of vegetables. But for tomatoes, as long as it's fully ripe, maybe even getting a little soft, a little overripe, that's a great one to save from. It can be a tomato that you're planning to eat. It's still in good shape and you're just gonna put it on your sandwich, but you have some seeds left on your cutting board. I'll show you how to save those. But ones that are going a little bit bad actually work really well too. Like, see, this one had fallen. I don't know if you can see, but it's actually getting moldy. Those are actually really great ones to save seeds from too. So sometimes I like to just walk along my tomato plants and pick up all the ones that have fallen and are starting to kind of like rot there, as long as they fell when they were ripe and they had their full color, whatever color that is that they're supposed to be. Those are great ones to save seeds from. So I'm going to show you a few different methods. The first one is the easiest one, and it's the way I always save seeds, except I had to come up with a different way to save seeds because now I'm going to be selling some of my Carlisle Heart's Content. If you don't know the story behind how I named a tomato after Brandy Carlisle, it's very exciting, and you can check out my page to see that story. I think it's pinned. But anyway, I am going to show you the simpler way that's not how you would save seeds if you wanted to give them away because they just look a little junky by springtime, but still totally work. Or if you're going to sell them, you're going to want to do the other method that just takes a few more steps. But this way is so easy. So what I've got, a tomato that's going a little bit soft. It's going to start going off pretty soon. I would still eat it, that's fine, but that's the state this one is in. And I think if you've gotten this far, you probably at least know what tomato seeds look like and where you find them. You find them in the gelatinous, the gel around here. So when I cut that open, I just plop all that gel, all the goo. You don't have to try to separate them from the goo. Plop it all right down onto your paper towel. See, like that? And then I would go through the whole tomato, making sure I'm getting all of it. But I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit just for this demonstration here. So the reason you leave the gel is that it actually has a job to do. It, for one thing, it has a growth inhibitor on it. That gel inhibits growth of the seeds, like say while they're in the tomato. But so what has to happen next is that this has to start to ferment a little bit, and that's part of the process of what makes these seeds viable, what makes it so that they can actually germinate next spring. So they have to stay in this gel for a little while, and that gel has to start to ferment, which is why I say it's actually pretty good to get these ones that are going bad, that are going moldy, that maybe dropped off the vine and are starting to mold a little bit, or sometimes I just leave them on my counter until they start to mold a little bit. My wife loves that, the fruit flies love that, it's great. But this way you can use just with the paper towel method, it can be a totally ripe, good condition tomato. Maybe you're cutting it up for a sandwich or something. Plop any extra seeds, any extra gel right there, and that's it. I just fold up the paper towel. If it's a really juicy tomato, like you see, this isn't too bad, it's kind of soaked right there, but when they're really juicy and the paper towel is just like soaking wet, I'll just fold it in a second paper towel. It'll dry eventually, and you want it to kind of ferment a little bit in that gel. And that's how I leave it until spring. I take a marker, I usually use a piece of tape to just kind of keep it shut, and I write right on the paper towel, as long as it's not too wet, I write what type of tomato it is and the year, and I just save them all in a box. And I'm going to show you what they look like the next year. So this is why it's not a great option if you're planning to give them away or sell them. See how they're just kind of dried up and like basically glued to the paper towel. So when I'm planting the seeds, I just kind of go in with my fingernail or a knife and just scrape them off. They kind of flake off into the soil. Or another cool trick that I found totally works is you just tear off a little square of the paper towel and plant the whole thing, like a little postage stamp of paper towel. Put that right in the soil, plant it like that. The paper towel disintegrates or decomposes and it doesn't get in the way. The seed germinates fine. Maybe it even likes it, a little extra organic material in the soil. So that's kind of a fun method, just tearing off paper towel and planting that. So that's the super easy way. I've also done basically the same thing but on a paper plate. and then I just label the paper plate and set it out to kind of dry somewhere. Again, the fruit flies and wives just love that. And then you can see in here, once it's all dry, I just fold it up, tape it. I've got it here in my little seed box. You can see there's a big, called it Big Beautiful Red, because I've been saving the seeds for a while, and it was a big red heirloom, something or other, and I think it was called something like Big Beauty, or I don't know, but this one is some more of like this one, which is a big heirloom that goes kind of yellow and pink. It's a really cool one. So that's it. That's the easy way. I'm going to show you in another clip one that has a few more steps to it, but where you end up with these seeds that look much more like you would expect to see from a seed packet. They're separated from the gel. They were allowed to dry for a while just in this thing, and I'm going to put these in the packets for the seeds that I actually am planning to sell. This is kind of new for me, but that one just takes a few more steps, because like I said, it has to ferment for a little while first in the gel. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that next.